It's OV weekend, baby, and the Sooners have some pretty big prospects in town. Shout out to the Sooner Scoop squad over there on 3. They dropped a graphic yesterday on the Xbird app. And yeah, we got to take a look at some of these big name players that are in town, especially the ones that I think we have a good chance of landing. There's a couple on the offensive side and there's a couple on the defensive side. So let's dive into this one because this is probably the second biggest weekend of the month, as next weekend is ginormous. All the big players will really be there next week, but this weekend's a little bit more focused. So let's dive into it. Before we do that, welcome to Sooner or Later Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Of course, we talk all Sooner recruiting here, so if you want to see more of that info, feel free to hit that like and the subscribe button. So before we do that, let's look at the players, pull up the graphic. That way you can see it. We don't need to bury the lead too far. But I want to talk about each one and kind of give you an idea of why I think that there's a chance for Oklahoma or there's not a chance. Let's take a look. All right, see this big, beautiful graphic. We won't look at film this time around, but we will do some individual stuff so you can kind of see some plays we like about each one. But let's talk about it. First and foremost, offensive linemen. We'll start on offense, move away to defense. Offensive side, you've got big Ty Haywood, number 9 player in the nation from on 3. And yeah, 6'4", 297. Kind of what he's listed. I think he's bigger than that. But he's at a Denton Ryan High School out of Denton, Texas, right? Same school that Caleb Hicks came from, and one of the cross-city rivals of Jackson Arnold's Denton Guyer, where Kevin Sperry's playing ball. But he comes in here, man. He's consensus composite 5-star. He's gonna finish 5-star in everybody's rankings. I mean, ESPN's got him 17th in the nation. Rivals got him 21st. So they haven't finalized them as 5 stars. He's a 5-star, right? Number 9 overall in the nation. Dude's a baller. And the good thing for Oklahoma is we were doing pretty well in the recruitment. It looked like we were starting to trend towards a lead right now in a lot of the RPMs and all predictions and stuff. We're kind of in the lead right now. Some feel we may have slipped, but I think Oklahoma's willing to open the checkbook to try to land somebody that's good. Will it work? I don't know. But this class felt like the class that Bill Beatonbow was really banking the most on, the class that he cared the most about. And Ty Haywood is a part of that. Dude is really good. Great footwork. He's physical. Yeah, I'm hoping Oklahoma push for it. I think Oklahoma has about I'm about a 60 confidence they can land them. I think we have over 50% chance of getting them. It's all about how we just close it, man. And this weekend is going to be critical in how we actually close that deal. So I'm liking that. Plus, I like who they brought with him this weekend, who is Michael Fasusi. Now, y'all know Fasusi, 6'5", 299, basically 300-pounder out of Louisville, Texas. Consensus and composite 5-star. He's definitely ranked in the top 15 in the nation, number 12, top 3 offensive tackles in the country. Just about everybody loves him in the recruiting deals. Hell, ESPN has him as number 9, and he's 5-star on theirs, right? And they're the ones that don't update the most often, but Fasusi's big. Now, Texas is the supposed leader with him right now. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but I know he's been here a lot. And it's been a while, but then he came back. What was that in April? He did some visits. And then we're like, okay, it was either March or April. We were trying to figure out, okay, what does this look like for Oklahoma in this conversation? Get your official dates. Yeah, he showed up April 12th. And he's looking to make a second visit, but he's been here a lot. He's been here 7 times. The most out of anybody. He'll be at Texas 7 times. After next weekend, he had locked in for them. But he's one that Oklahoma really wants. And I think Beatonbow wants him the most. And honestly, I can totally sense that this will be the second one the checkbook would be willingly opened up for. I mean, y'all can think Oklahoma's broke. We've shown that we ain't. And when we want somebody, we want them. And I think this is one of those 2 with Fasusi. So that's your offensive lineman. Hop in the comments. Let me know what you think about those 2. Let's talk about some wide receivers that got my intrigue. Next up, wide receivers, we got Cortez Mills, who's a 4-star top about 105th player in the country, consensus composite 4-star, really good, top 15 wide receivers in the game. He's pretty much game changer. 6 foot, 165, and watch some of his film. He's out of Homestead, Florida, So another Florida boy. We like to get our hands on some of the Florida boys, right? He can ball, right? I saw watch some of his film, so it made me think that Emmett wants a guy that's going to be able to break out pretty fast or have opportunity to play early. His film, he did well in battles in like the Miami 7v7 tourney. Looked at the film on that. He's out there cooking some folks, man. Good with route running, solid hands. His lead receiver is a junior there. Caught 79 passes for like 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns out there in Miami. Yeah, massive. So he's here. He'll be at Miami next week. I mean, I think there's a chance because he has interest and he showed up. And you know who Emmett Jones is, right? Emmett Jones, that dude. We talk about how we need to get that man a raise. Yeah. I think Mills is one that, yeah. We'll do a video on him and just look at film. Right now, he's crystal balled and predicted to go to Clemson. So Clemson, of course, is working their tails off to try to land his services. I don't know if they do, but we'll see. Miami's also up there in the RPM wise, but Clemson's got a couple of crystal balls. We'll see how it lands, but I think Oklahoma is trying to play. I don't see Oklahoma landing Cortez Mills, to be honest. I think I'm about a 30 on that one. I think that Oklahoma has a couple other fish they really want, which I think is the next guy we're going to talk about. Marcus Harris. Now, Marcus Harris out of Mater Dei, Santa Ana, California. Mater Dei is an infamous program that produces some killer players. 5'11", 185 wide receiver, top 200 wide receiver in the country. And he was a late ad. Like, I saw him tweet it out. A few people tweeted out there was a surprise player coming, and then he tweeted out he was showing up. And it's like, okay, boom, there you go. There's the Marcus Harris. And watching his film, I see why Emmett Jones wants him. Kid can ball. Considered one of the top pass catchers out there. He's a track player. Ran 11-14 on the 100. He's just really hard to defend, even at that size, right? Last year, 43 catches, 644 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He can play. So he was supposed to have been at Oregon this weekend. He's in Norman today. Should tell you something, right? Sounds like Oklahoma has a chance. And I think this is one of the players that Emmett really wants. I mean, depending on the services, he's the 5'11", 6 foot. He may be around 6 feet at this point. You know, he's still growing. But he's good with route running. And he's fast. He's fast enough. He gets out there, he gets the catch, and he goes. I am pretty confident. I think this might be the player that Emmett go ahead and locks in and tries to snatch up. He's a baller. He can play. And he would do a great with rounding out this class. I'm going to put this at a 60 as well, up there with Ty. I think that Emmett's going to try to close the deal this weekend and get that man to go ahead and sign, seal, and delivered. He's supposed to go to Texas next week. We'll see if he makes that visit. If he makes a visit out of Texas without a commitment, I think Oklahoma has a really good chance because I feel like Oklahoma is high on his list. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball real quick. We got a few guys that have shown up, some linebackers. As you saw that list, let's pull that list back up. You've got Elijah Melendez, which we did a video on him, talked about him, 4-star linebacker out of Miami, Florida area. And he's one that I think that, I'm sorry, he's out of Kissimmee. That's my apologies. I was wrong on that. And he's one that I think that Brent Venables wants. Like Elijah just talked up Oklahoma and talked about them and Zach Alley. Zach Alley was one of his, the guys that went after him as soon as he got the job at Oklahoma. And Venables likes him. Venables likes his linebackers out of Florida, if you haven't noticed, right? You got your Danny Stutzmans of the world. You got Lewis Carters of the world. He likes some linebackers out of Florida. He's big on that. Elijah could be another great one to come here and play. And I think that Oklahoma's going to do whatever they can to get their hands on him. You add him with Mark Ian Ucher, linebacker out of Harbor City, California. Now, you may have heard this name before because of another video we made not too long ago of a certain quarterback out of the 26 class, Jaden O'Neal. Yeah, the same high school as him. And when I saw Jaden in person, he basically kind of talked about, his boy. He's trying to bring somebody here, just kind of, not saying he's coming to Oklahoma, but he's trying to help his boy, make a decision. And yeah, no, we all believe that Jade's coming. We've got like 8 million crystal balls that have dropped in the last 48 hours. After this last camp, kid can ball. Mark can too. And Mark is one linebacker that Oklahoma he's been eyeballed by Oklahoma over the last about 3 or 4 months. I know he got his offer not too long ago, but he's one they've been looking at 6'2", 215, and he's a hitter. He likes to hit. I mean, he's top 500 in the country, so he's not highly ranked. He's a consensus composite, roughly 3-star. 247 has him rated as a 4. They're very high on him, but a lot of people think that he's going to end up with SMU. We'll see. I don't know, but all I know is this: him visiting, especially around the same time as Jaden O'Neal's, kind of a big deal. Tells me that they're really pushing for him. But then let's wrap up with some more trench work. You've got Floyd Boucard, defensive lineman out of Miami Central. Now, this is one that a lot of people think that Miami's going to win because Miami Central is basically a feeder school to University of Miami. Totally understand that. There's some difference with here, right? He's 6'2.5", roughly 6'3", 315 in high school, which is crazy. But Floyd is from Montreal, right? He's from Canada. He's Canadian. Played hockey most of his life. Just started playing football like 3 years, 3 years. So he's fresh in the game, which is why his ranking's not super high. He's a consistent composite 3-star, top 600 player in the country. But he's good, right? Good to the point where all your big schools are really after him. You got your Bama's, your Miami's, Oklahoma gave him some offers. You start to see some of the bigger schools pick up. LSU jumped in on him. Michigan State did. You got Missouri, Ole Miss, Penn State, Oregon, right? You're starting to see some of the bigger schools. Auburn, they're all like, yeah, we have interest. A lot of SEC schools like, nah. We want to holler at this dude because he just moved to Miami last year. So he's been at Miami Central this past season. And yeah, he's out here going to these camps and he's kicking people's tail. That's why Oklahoma wants him. And I think that this is one player that, yeah, if we could get our hands on the kid, dangerous. So then you add, of course, current OU commit Trent Wilson, who pulled up to help with recruiting his teammates. He is, of course, the top 200 player in the country, defensive lineman, 4-star. He's here working the phones and working the room to help try to get some players to join his class. Love Trent. I think Trent's going to be a special talent here. He's going to step up. So that's the players that are pulling up. Hop in those comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. How y'all feeling? Think Oklahoma has a chance of landing any of them? Love for you all to join the conversation. Let me know how y'all feeling. And if you've made it this far, you like the content, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for y'all to join this family of Sooner recruiting fans, talking all OU recruiting, having a blast doing it. So, all right, we'll have some more videos coming down. Of course, we'll go live on Sunday to talk more about these visits and any type of insight that comes from them. And yeah, let's get it. We'll talk soon. Peace.